Yup, it's me again. Hello everyone, guten Tag, bonjour, dobry den. This is me, Zeno77. Today we're going to be streaming with you together. Now, before I start, you might think about this super weird environment. It's temporarily just for a couple weeks before I kind of settle my at least some kind of streaming environment, so to say. But in any case, today is St. Valentine's Day. I would like to congratulate everyone who is celebrating it. I think it's an amazing holiday because we come together and we all remember how much we love each other, and this is exactly what I wish you to be doing today. Now, before we dive in into today's topics, I would like to notify you that I think that there won't be a lot of new videos soon, apart from the reactions that I'm already uploading. But there will be lots and lots of other stuff coming up. For example, the old reactions, some that we had to upload, they are going to be there. And also, I was planning some videos on March. I have to finish one video for my other YouTube channel. And after that, we're starting to look into basically March and videos on this channel. So, what are we going to be watching today? We have three videos that I saved. So these are the old Brad Cooper videos. These are the free videos we are watching today. I decided, okay, what is the best thing to watch on St. Valentine's Day? Now, obviously, there aren't a lot of new Valentine's videos yet because the holiday is only today, but there are some videos that might be interesting, like, for example, beauty videos. Then I also ran into this one talking about the downfall of modern podcasts, which could be interesting if you think about someone who is planning to start a podcast, maybe. And also, in the end, probably if we have time and motivation, we're going to this 10-minute video by It's Complicated channel, which was Lego. So it's really fresh. Rules of modern dating. Used to get some views on my channel, probably not that much as I would expect now. But in any case, yeah, before we start, let's dive in. And yeah, let's stop the reaction by watching a Misha Petrov video. Now, I don't know why. Yeah. Now I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why, but apparently a lot of the you people like watching her videos on my channel, which is a bit weird for me because I thought only Brad Cooper can collect these type of views. But no, apparently Misha Petrov could do just the same high level job. So before we start, I'll probably pick a nice background. Wait, give me a second. Oh, yeah, this actually looks nice. Now I think we can dive into her reaction. So it is recording, everything's fine. I think the sound should be as good as well. Let us do our traditional YouTube intros. Give me a second. I think I'm ready. So, why does Gen Z want to be ugly? Yes, yet another video by Misha Petrov, who simultaneously appeared on my channel and collected hundreds and hundreds of views. Her streams, her reactions. I think her reaction became the second most viewed video on my channel ever. So obviously, I could not make videos about her. In any case, we're going to be diving into a topic that is related to St. Valentine's Day because we're doing it on February 14th, and it's going to be about beauty. Now, let's see what does she mean in this 8-minute video about Gen Z being wanting to be ugly. Because let's agree, the title sounds a bit weird, like nobody wants to be ugly, but probably she has something to say on it. So if I'm good, yes, you can see me perfectly. Let's start. Oh, it's she, Sam Smith.
The patriarchy.
Hey guys, it's Misha and welcome back to my channel. So something
Hey.
I think we've all noticed by now is that there's a certain
Spot on that she put makeup like before starting a beauty video. Like I don't, it's not that I don't mind. She actually looks very nice here, very beautiful. But the fact is, I think if you compare to some other videos that apparently she does now, she wears way less. Like here, you can spot it immediately. Ah, I might sound like a hater now.
look to these woke social justice warriors, certain clothing and hair and makeup. And there's a reason that we have this stereotype of a blue hair feminist, because a lot of them do look like that.
This is what the patriarchy looks like. Men, women.
And today
True. Absolutely agree with her. If we talk about patriarchy, yes, men, well, not like say like this, but like this, women probably. Not even like this. I would say like this, to because the man is like covering, he's like protecting from everything that's falling down. So I think this would be a better description. But they still have to go together.
I want to explore why that may be, because in the beginning I thought, these people just want attention, they want to look unique, or they might be looking for a fight even, which happens a lot. And that is
Never understood this yelling. If someone could explain, I mean, it's not only the feminist protests, it's a lot of the protests that aren't even related to that topic. Everyone just starts yelling at each other. Like, I think that's why humans invented languages.
is definitely part of it, but I think there's something else going on, and I've heard a lot of young women in Gen Z especially talk about this, and that is the attempt to move away from the male gaze, which in feminist theory is when males tend to objectify women, and so it's oppressive. So these women want
I really don't know what the word gaze means, so I'm quickly going to Google it. Oh, come on, give me the English terminology. I'm too lazy to read it in French now. Gaze, regarde. Okay, look, apparently. It's a nice synonym. Nice synonym to know for the future.
to move away from that and change their style so that it's not what men typically find attractive.
Ladies, I'm going to show you exactly how to repel men with makeup.
If you're looking for outfits to repel men, you've stumbled on the right video. We're going to start off with a pair of black trousers with quite a low crotch area. This is just to let them know that we do in fact have bigger balls than they do. I hope to repel many men today.
Why? Okay, attention. Got it.
But I do find this funny because the point that they're trying to make is that we should dress for ourselves, right? Wear what you like, wear what makes you comfortable, what makes you happy, and not think about men. Yet the focus here is on men. There are women, of course, who will wear, 6-inch heels that they're not comfortable in, they don't really want to wear, but they're doing it for men, right? To appease the male gaze, or they do something specific with their hair or makeup or whatever, not for themselves, but for men. In this case,
I'm gonna shock you, but everyone dresses in order for someone else to find them nicely dressed. Because trust me, if a lot of people didn't care, which apparently there is a percentage, but if most of people didn't care, all these fashion brands wouldn't sell as much clothes as they do in reality. If you think about it, all these Hugo Bosses, Tommy Hilfigers, etc., etc. The reason they are able to sell is because people want to capture other people's attention with the clothing they are picking up. So yeah, I never believed in the concept of dressing for yourself. Even like now, the only reason I put this sweatshirt is because I was criticized by me wearing a simple t-shirt, and I really didn't want to scare other people away, so I put on like I think it's a decent hoodie. So again, there's no such thing as dressing for yourself.
case, you have girls and young women, getting body modifications or tattoos or piercings or doing
Facial tattoos are simply the ugliest. I remember when I was young in school, and the teachers used to laugh at the students, telling them, "Oh, you should probably draw it on your forehead." Apparently, someone didn't get the joke.
Something specific with their hair tends to be dyeing it pink or blue or purple, or shaving it all off, just because that's what they're told will repel men. You're doing your part as a modern day feminist. So they're still failing to dress for themselves, and the focus is still on men. They're worrying about whether or not some man will like it.
I think it's a huge W for feminism. Sorry, for Gen Z. We're talking about Gen Z. That's actually my generation, so big W. Perplexed and without weak mortal man who say shit like "don't cut your hair short," men don't like that. I mean, girl, do whatever you want. Just don't ask where all the men later on. Like, I have no problem with anyone doing anything they want with their body. I have a problem when people are trying to make me accept it. They are telling me I'm supposed to like it. That's where I have a problem, when someone's trying to interfere with my opinion. On the other hand, if you don't care what I say, well, I won't care what you do. Trust me, you can even put the trash bag on your head. Like, if you really want it, go for it. I don't think it's banned by law. It's just that I'm not going to spot you on. And if, for example, your goal will be to get spot on, then please think what you do with your head. But all the other cases, I don't care.
They are opting for more of an androgynous look. And there is, of course, the body hair movement, which, listen, I don't think it's a big deal. If you don't want to shave, don't shave. If you want to shave, shave. But they think that it's brave and empowering to show off their body hair, their armpits or their legs, and they'll post it anywhere but on their head, of course.
Call it a little quirk, if you will.
Oh, yeah,
I
this
have
legend.
hair in my armpits. I have it there for a few reasons. One, lazy. Two, the patriarchy. And
Okay, lazy fuck. I mean, I never got this argument about the patriarchy, but
three, your response to them tells me everything I need to know.
And then they get applauded.
again, let's imagine that nobody cares about it. I can tell you honestly my opinion, and this is true. Nobody cares about your armpits. Now we're coming back. Imagine you're trying to attract someone. You're trying to get spot on as a beautiful woman. And that is exactly what he's gonna think about you when he sees this. He's gonna think lazy, which is a bad argument. I mean, I never got the argument about I think the patriarchy, but he's going to assume that it's going towards male hateness. And what was the third argument? Oh yeah, your opinion of it tells you everything you need to know. Well, yeah, same for me. You're a lazy woman who doesn't want to take care about your body and probably hates man. Duh, bye bye. And if this is your goal, you're doing an excellent job. Again, the problems are always about. The thing is, people never think about the prospective future, especially these they are brave in the moment. And it's sad that eventually there is going to come a time in their life where they are going to regret this. Well, if they won't, well, I am genuinely happy for them. Like, imagine not regretting stuff like this. I mean, then your life is supposed to go great.
For it. They even expect likes and comments from all these other girls, saying that they are stunning and brave for having body hair, for not shaving. But then they also get really upset when
Again, they expect comments from someone else. Like, they're trying to switch other people's opinions, and this is where it's bad. This is where the facts, like, even with the girl that was talking before, who said that she's lazy, she doesn't care. Okay, that's all her. But if she's gonna try to convince someone else that they should think it's brave, that they should think that is amazing, here's where the conflict of situation is created.
when men don't want to date them because they may have a preference, but if they have that preference, then that's misogynistic, of course. Which is silly. Women have preferences too. Some women don't like men with beards, for example. That's fine. But when men have preferences with body hair or facial hair, whatever, that's a problem. But again, I don't think there's anything wrong with these women saying that they don't shave, because a lot of women are expected to shave like every single inch of their body. I'm just not convinced that a majority of these women are doing it for themselves, because it's not considered stereotypically feminine, right? And same with the trend of being heavily tattooed or a lot of piercings, having no hair or colored hair, doing anything to go against the beauty standards. Now, of course, these trends are always changing, and I do believe that freedom of expression is important, but I do have 2 points that I want to discuss. And the first one is when these people from Gen Z, they'll post this and they'll say, well, this is so unfair that I can't find work, right? This is my style and I should be able to find a job, but it's really difficult. But there are things.
There's like, I have an amazing solution for all these, so to say, people who can't find a job. Like, start your own business. Genuinely, just go out there and start your own business, and you can wear whatever you want. Whatever, you can even walk. I mean, I'm not sure if it's allowed by law to walk naked around your office, but in general, you can put a swimsuit, you can have everyone unshaved. You're the boss. This is like the problem. Again, we're coming back to the topic of accepting by someone else. It is okay if you do it to yourself. It is okay if you live this way, but don't expect that everyone around you is going to accept this. And a job is a very clear example. Like, there are certain jobs where you need to wear certain clothes, for example, suits. And if you go out there and say, no, I'm not going to wear a suit, well, then you're not getting a job. And it's not you who decides if you get it or not. So either comply to the rules or you don't play the game.
Things that are expected of you at the workplace, and one of those things is being dressed appropriately for both men and women, whether that's, wearing a suit and a tie or a clean dress shirt. Instead, they want to look like a teen going through some emo phase, and then they're confused why employers won't hire them. You have to be professional, otherwise the workplace would look like a circus. And the other point is that
To be fair, she didn't show any TikTok, and now that I thought about it, I've never ran into TikToks like this. Maybe she was just scrolling. Maybe it's actually her opinion. But again, if there are those who can't get a job because of their looks, I'm telling you, starting an own business works amazing. I think this is actually why a lot of them go on TikTok. This is like some way to be an independent worker earning money, probably.
this style is unlike the, let's say, goth or emo teens expressing themselves, because this style has a lot of connection to specifically gender ideology.
Here's a non-binary fashion tip that is not going to
Why are you having a mustache?
be for everyone. Get down with dressing weird.
Pro tip for trans women: get a f***ing face tattoo, cause this cured my f***ing dysphoria. When I
Who are these people? Works for not probably they're really non-binary, because I can understand. Is this a dude or is this a girl? Although actually no, it's not a dude and it's not a girl. It's a freak. It's really like, I mean, okay, I can accept that non-binary people do exist because I cannot define this. Unless I see some documents or their biology, I cannot define who are these people. Okay, on the left, probably it's a man, but who is this on the right? Why did you sign Gen Z? This man on the right looks like he's probably 30 at least.
look this f***ing cool, bro.
You betcha.
Are you a thembo?
Yeah, this is a girl. This is a girl.
So someone will post this style and get a bunch of comments saying, you look great, I love how you look non-binary, right? You have that look to you. And then they start out, as a tomboy or feminine man. You check back a few months later and they're getting top surgery, irreversible surgery, because they get all these comments saying you look amazing, and then they get pushed into that direction of getting surgery.
I definitely felt the same way.
No.
Often convinced by these comments that if
I don't want to see this. It's 12 and it's midnight. I need to go to bed after this stream. I don't want to have nightmares again. I have had enough from a couple of other previous streams.
They like to dress this way, they are non-binary. And then especially the young teenage girls will go get top surgery. And then they'll get applauded for that. Now, back to the whole male gaze, there are actually women who are now calling men predators if they want to date a woman from a different country.
Why do you think so many men are traveling overseas?
Hey, W, it's complicated.
To find wives in other countries.
In other cultures, a lot of women are more submissive.
Yeah, they're pervy.
Men are traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education. It's because they want a woman who is dependent on.
Yes, we're aware.
I mean, I always believe that you need to listen to the whole conversation to make a judgment. So, I mean, we had this complicated video in our plan, so probably we're going to check it out. We're going actually pretty fast on this plan.
Why you guys go and get foreign girls?
Yeah, to be fair, Eastern Europe, nothing can beat Eastern Europe.
Because you can't handle women. That's why.
And this whole thing is so offensive.
Yes, he can't take you. He can't handle you. And that's his choice. And you're supposed to respect it because his body, his wife, his choice. She's 100% right. I wouldn't be able to handle you. And I handle 99% of the population around the world. So that is why he's going to find someone who he's able to handle. You can call it weak, but that's sexist. Or is it now racist? Or is it misogynistic? I don't know. Tell me the correct definitions.
And ignorant, because basically what they're saying is that if a woman is not from the US and she's not woke, then she is uneducated, she doesn't have opinions of her own, and she can't be outspoken, and that's why men go for her. So the Western women think they are superior because they are empowered and awake, right? It's the women from other countries who are educated and can be just as outspoken and have opinions.
Talking about education, like, I'm not even going to jump into women rights and talk about how women started voting in Eastern countries, or I mean Eastern European countries, so to say, earlier than in the Western countries. I'm not going even to go into this, but what I am going to say is that if someone really believes, again, I know that I can't talk for every country, but I'm absolutely sure I can talk for Eastern Europe. Most women there are highly educated and even more educated than the Western side, because they have to somehow be there on the same level as Western women, yet not get too far from the Eastern side. So they like get all the best from all the sides. And that's, I think, one of the beauties of them.
And actually can still look normal, which a lot of people here
That's a W for the Eastern side.
in the US seem to struggle with. So can you blame men if they choose to try and find a woman from a different country? The thing is that this style doesn't just repel men, it also repels women, because we don't want to be friends with someone that looks like this, because these people look like they'll start World War III if they get misgendered. Demi Lovato.
This is sorry. This is actually very good. They will start World War III if they get misgendered. This is an excellent answer.
Lovato, for example, or Sam Smith, and their whole transformation, and they have this ugly style on the outside, but they are often ugly on the inside as well, much like all woke individuals who are narcissistic and miserable.
Why don't you explain to me why what I'm doing is wrong?
Back to the yelling. I never got it. I mean, even it's not even a new thing. I think 10 years ago, I believe 10 years ago, I saw the same clip. No, not clip, but quote. You know, that screaming is usually a sign of insecurity and afraidness. that actually, when you speak calm, if you speak calm and you can get your point, that's the highest value. And those who need to raise their voice, they usually cannot explain their opinion in normal words.
A while ago, we had this beauty pageant, was born male and won. Maybe they have an amazing personality.
Mr.
Maybe they're really
Netherlands.
funny and an awesome person. But this is a beauty pageant. We are lying to ourselves and to other people. All throughout history, we can recognize real beauty. If someone from the past or someone from the future came to this phase and this trend of the social justice warriors looking like this, I seriously doubt that most of them will agree, yes, this is beautiful. And I know that they do this to try and express their inner.
Again, I will interrupt her. There are so many weird stuff that women used to do in the past. For example, these women that had like very thin sides, and it was considered super attractive, and actually it provoked a lot of sicknesses. So I would debate with her on this subject, because the idea of beauty, it also shifts. But on the other hand, I don't think it really will shift that much, at least the next 100 years. So at least until this generation, even this Gen Z is still alive. I don't think that we're even that close to this beauty shift.
Or turmoil or what they're feeling inside, but this says nothing about who you are. It's just a distraction. The only thing that this tells me is to try and keep magnets away from your face, or that I have to walk on eggshells around you because you might have a temper tantrum about your gender identity. So again, I think it's a great thing for men and women to be able to express themselves through fashion, but this feels like they're just trying to be unique, while at the same time looking like copies of each other. Just copy and paste this one non-binary woke Gen Z person, and then you'll have this army of them on TikTok. And that's all for today's video, guys. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, like the video if you enjoyed.
Conclusion of the reaction. Don't let anyone convince you what you think is beautiful. And if you're willing to fight for that, don't get into a physical confrontation, but know your standards. That's the conclusion of this reaction. So this was Zeno77 reacted to a Misha Petrov video. I think that you might see it actually very soon after the stream. So I don't think that a lot of my plans changed. That we're going to be dropping reactions from other streams on the YouTube channel, and probably planning something for March for this YouTube channel, but I'm not sure yet. In any case, this was Zeno77 yet again. Thank you for watching. For those who are watching this in recording, I will see you in my next reaction. For those of you on this stream, we're going to the next videos. In any case, see you soon. Nice reaction. Good way to start. I'm not actually feeling that sleepy as I thought before. Rumble. Okay, that's probably I'll watch it further on. Now.
Bei Amazon gibt's die Produkte, die
I
du
wanna watch
liebst, auch
this
zu
video.
Preisen, die du liebst. Schließlich willst du deine Welt rocken, nicht dein Sparkonto.
Okay, I'm not
Mit einer
getting paid for
köstlichen
this,
Mischung
so
aus
I'm gonna cover it for a while. Oh, come on, there's so many ads. Give me 5 more seconds. Okay, I think we're good. The Downfall of Modern Podcasts, a video by a YouTuber called James Smith. It appeared on his YouTube channel a week ago and already gained twice as much views as his number of subscriptions, which is not new for me, because usually even for me, 100 a reaction that doesn't get 100 views is a failed reaction, and I'm not even yet on number 15 subscribers, or am I, if you're watching this in replay? But why did I decide to react to this video? Well, first of all, potentially potentially I might consider starting my own podcast. So obviously I want to understand what is the problem in modernity so that I would know what issues I might run into. And second of all, I really do like some of the different modern podcasts that I watch. And this guy, I think the only one that I can recognize from the thumbnail, if you can see from here, is Joe Rogan. But I only watched clips from him. I haven't watched the single full time podcast. And I really want to know why this man, James Smith, who I only ran into like 40 minutes ago when I was picking what I'm going to watch during this stream. Yeah, I'm trying to understand what is he not liking about modern podcasts. So, in any case, without further ado, let's get into the reaction.
I'm sure you've realised ever since the pandemic that absolutely everyone you've ever met has now got a podcast. And this, it's not even plugged into anything. But there is a big problem on the horizon that we're already starting to experience. Follow me. Now you're probably like, what were you filming then? Is it too much to ask to keep the camera on me? Now problem number one is if you're like me, I like listening to the Joe Rogan podcast. So when he went over to Spotify, we celebrated it. And we were happy to pay that Spotify membership. But then for some reason, although we're paying Spotify the money, he's still putting ads in the podcast. So I'm there in bed listening to an episode, about to fall asleep. And then bam.
This episode is brought to you by Athletic Greens.
Like, whoa. So you're like, hold on, I'm paying you.
Again, on one hand, it's super weird to follow up. Why is he walking the stairs? But on the other hand, I'll do give him a W for putting these, sleeping intro moments. They're really good.
Use Spotify so I don't get ads, and now I'm getting ads either way. And they don't even play them at the beginning like Lex Friedman, so you can skip through them and pretend you listen to them. They put them, bam, come on, over here, come on. For many of you, you've probably heard of a podcast called Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett. And congratulations, they just hit 5 million subscribers on YouTube, which is amazing. But there's a lot of controversy between the guests at the moment, and all the guests seem to contradict each other and say different things, but they're all renowned experts. But being an expert isn't merely enough, because if you think about it, if two companies are suing each other, both companies will have experts, and those both experts in the same field would disagree with each other. Just making someone an expert doesn't mean they're right, or you wouldn't have people on different sides. And there are several components to operating a podcast in 2024 that people aren't thinking about. Podcasts are businesses. They are not vessels or means of getting you free information, although it may feel that way. Places like YouTube will pay you AdSense, but when you start looking at these podcasts as businesses, this is only a fraction, maybe 10 to 20% of what that business is earning is being paid for by Google. One of the main places you will earn money in a podcast is sponsors.
Yes.
And the sponsor will pay depending on the amount of downloads or the amount of views, because you are putting eyes and ears in front of their brand.
That is true.
Podcasts also use discount codes, but they're not discount codes, they're commission codes. When you look at Huberman promoting Athletic Greens, if you use this code for the discount, it actually allows Athletic Greens to understand where they're giving their commission to. And if we use Athletic Greens as an example, you're not only looking at $50 commission per sale, but every sale they're on in. So no doubt, a sponsor will not just pay the person to be mentioned, they will then pay the person every time there's commission on their product and sales on their in. So when the likes of Huberman are saying Athletic Greens is really good and it makes them feel so much better, they're not just looking at commission, they're looking at recurring commission. Now, what makes things interesting? So if we look at a company like Huel, Stephen Bartlett.
It's 2.5 minutes in and I'm still trying to find some new information for me. And I'm trying to understand where is the downfall of modern podcasts.
Is a non-executive director of Huel, which I assume means he has shares in the business. So although I'm sure that Huel pay Diary of a CEO money, every time Stephen Bartlett mentions Huel, he's also inflating the portfolio of a business that he's got shares in. And before I say, that's terrible, I do that every time I tell you about Nutonic, the world's first productivity drinks. Oh, my shares in the business just went up. So far, nothing really is wrong with this picture. The problem starts becoming apparent when you start looking at guests. In the beginning, you want fantastic guests who can arrive and change people's lives and give people so much information, get massive amounts of views and grow your channel to 5 million subscribers. But you will exhaust the amount of great guests very soon. And you can get those.
Obviously, there's not many great people in this world who you actually can talk about important stuff with.
guests back on, or what we're starting to see is you bring on guests not who are known for being factually correct or objective, but that you know will cause controversy, cause a rift between the followers, cause massive amounts of engagement, cause people to be so outraged that they go and watch the podcast just to see what's factually incorrect in it, and of course, get huge amounts of views. You'll even notice that the thumbnail for the episode is changed every hour on the hour, 12 hours after the podcast is released, to see which thumbnail causes people to click on the most. There is a science to this, and they're choosing titles.
Okay, this is actually an interesting fact I never knew. I usually just, even when I upload my reactions, I just put like one thumbnail and it sticks there for like months. I don't know. I think I've never even changed the thumbnail in my whole life, and I've been on YouTube for like 4 years, not doing podcasts. But still, that is an impressive. I actually never knew. I should probably check it out in the future.
That are provocative, intriguing, but we're now at the point where people are just looking to piss people off. And if that means you're using misinformation, if it brings you views and it brings you listens and it brings you attention, that's not only going to bring you more money from sponsors, it's also going to give you more prospects to sell the business in which you're promoting. And all you need to do is check the comment section of these guests when they're announced. There was even a post by the vegan doctor that I was meant to show you guys here, but I think it's been deleted because the comments were so bad on it. But although you can cause a lot of controversy from the amount of people that are coming to your page, if it boosts your revenue, you will continue to do that habit or endeavor. It's a positive feedback loop.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the Tucker Carlson interview, although it got a lot of dislikes, it did get huge amount of engagement. So I'm having second thoughts. I'm doing something similar to that.
So the biggest issue you see in models like Diary of a CEO is that it's very apparent this is becoming more of a business operation than it is trying to get good quality information to the forefront of the listeners. Let's have a look at some of the comments.
I love cheese.
I'm honestly starting to get tired of all these health food experts. If I followed every advice of the guests on the show, I'd have to change my diet every week. How do you elaborate all of these contradictory statements from all of your different guests? I watch all the episodes and I find it really hard. And so many of the things...
To be fair, I think since he promoted the drink, he's probably also some kind of food health influencer. And I've never watched these guys. I ran into this guy 40 minutes ago. So I genuinely have no thoughts on him. And that's why I'm just sitting here watching, like, okay, promote your business.
That people are saying on podcasts are just not true. And a great example of this would be the misinformation that Ben Carpenter put out this week. I'll tell you what, Ben, I'm even going to show people you're real because I think it's really important.
100 normal individuals, 25 in 4 different groups. One group, 1 liter of sugared soda per day for 6 months. One group, 1 liter of diet soda per day for 6 months. One group, 1 liter of milk per day for 6 months. Final group, 1 liter of water per day for 6 months. The 1 liter of soda per day in 6 months gained 10 kilos.
The sugary soda.
The sugary soda.
10 kilos.
The 1 liter of water per day lost 2 kilos. 1 liter of milk per day, no change.
Presumably that was full-fat milk. We're talking about Euro.
Full-fat milk.
Yeah, they like their full-fat milk.
Oh, love it.
No change.
3.5%.
And finally, the kicker to the whole thing, diet soda. The 1 liter of diet soda. What would you predict their weight would do?
More weight loss than in the water group based on my understanding of the literature.
They gained 2 kilos.
Podcasts talking about science? Love it. Podcasts including references in their show notes? Especially love it. Podcasts that totally misrepresent what the study actually said? Don't love it quite so much. Here is what that study actually showed.
Sweet bars increased fat storage in the liver muscle.
Firstly, it was 60 people, not 100. Secondly, it wasn't full-fat milk. Thirdly, most importantly, those incredible sounding numbers, they are absolute bullshit. He claimed soda resulted in 10 kilos of weight gain. 2 kilos from diet soda, no change from milk, 2 kilos weight loss from water. Guess what the study actually showed
Let's go.
no significant body weight change in any group. There was a tiny trend for weight and fat gain in the soda group, but it was not 10 kilograms. It was a measly 1.25 kilograms. Drinking the sugary soda did increase ectopic fat levels, and other studies show they can promote weight and fat gain, even if that wasn't seen in this study. Anyone who even bothers to skim read the abstract will know that what he is saying isn't even close to factually correct. My point
Again, okay, let's finish.
is, please be careful which podcasts you trust, even if you happen to like the people behind the microphone.
And the biggest issue...
And again, before this guy dives in, that's probably why I got misunderstood. That's probably why I did not understand at the beginning what are we talking about, because he's clearly talking about scientific podcasts, whereas, for example, I take the George Jenko show. A lot of what he just says on his podcast is simply what he thinks, and he's not even saying if it's right or wrong. He's just saying, "Listen, guys, this is what I think. If you agree with me, follow me." It's actually also what I do a lot of the times in my reaction. I just say what I want, what I believe is right. This is my platform, so I can tell you whatever I want, and I'm not really a lot of the times I don't even bring facts. Moreover, why do I have Caesars in my hands? Moreover, I often try to say that you don't have to follow me unless you really want to. So yeah, I think this is just a misunderstanding, but let's finish this reaction, because if you started something, at least be respectful enough to finish.
It's going to be this. Supply and demand are not in a position to serve each other. Because think of it, you've got Joe Rogan, you've got Lex Fridman, you've got Chris Williamson, you've got Stephen Bartlett, you've got all these well-established businesses that are all fighting over a supply of good speakers. And once they've been interviewed on one podcast, their stocks are diluted because people go, well, I listened to Matthew Walker on Joe Rogan, so I'm not going to listen to him on Chris Williamson. So you have all these people fighting for this really small amount of supply of actually good people to have on. And when you can't access those people, you need to start going to the bottom of the bucket and finding people that are divisive, controversial, or that are just going to say things against the status quo, like we just saw.
I'm here, guys. Who is willing to host me?
And Ben Carpenter's real. People are going to cherry pick studies, or worse yet, make up their own outcome of the studies, because people at the moment are making a snapshot from these reels that are put out and taking that as evidence. Even this guy in my DMs, you might have to throw in the towel soon. I was like, mate, you've watched one reel. I said, it's already been debunked, you nonce, which in English means paedophile. Just keeping you on your toes, dickhead. Then sends me Jason Fung, one of the most notorious charlatans and misinformation. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is something called the confirmation bias. And the confirmation bias is where you go out and seek information that already fits your narrative and you ignore everything else that doesn't. The current state of the world is that people will see something that someone says in 90 seconds. They won't reference studies. They won't reference any literature. They'll just say it with enough conviction that people think it's true. They will then take that information and try and convert people around them. This is causing mass confusion. And the big issue with all of this is when so much information is contradicting, people won't listen to any of it. It's a real shame because podcasts for so many years were such an amazing way for you to bolster your knowledge, but now you're just being drip-fed bullshit so that other companies can profit off of getting more downloads, views, and listens. It's the sad reality of the world, and I don't see it getting better anytime soon. Thanks for watching.
I think the best thing that sums up this this video is probably this one. Wait. I'm gonna quickly try to find it. I'm gonna quickly try to find this episode because maybe it was at the beginning. Oh yeah, it's actually at the beginning.
What?
No, that's actually how it
All
works.
you all think smoking kills? Let me tell you something. Do you know that the amount of people dying from diabetes are 3 times as many people dying from smoking? Yet if I pulled a Snicker bar, nobody would say anything. Do you know that the leading cause of lung cancer is not actually a cigarette? It's your DNA. You could smoke for years and nothing will ever happen to you. This whole war against smoking is just to restrict the farming of tobacco. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I use these arguments, even though I just made them up, with a group of my friends. And the results, 5 of them believed what I said. 2 of them started smoking. Words, when said and articulated in the right way, can change someone's mind. They can alter someone's belief. You have the power to bring someone from the slums of life and make a successful person out of them. Or destroy someone's happiness using only your words. Does that seem a bit too good to be true?
I mean, then you get the point. In any case, that summed up even better than I could have. Words, when used correctly and properly, can change someone's life in a positive way or a negative one. This was Zeno77 reacting to a video by James Smith about the downfall of podcasts. And we cannot quit our stream here, but if I decide to upload this on YouTube, which I'm not sure, I will thank you for watching this all the way till the end. And I will tell you to wait for new reactions just soon. Simply soon. If you're still watching me live, then we are jumping to the final reaction of the night. But for you on YouTube, have a good night. Okay, as I promised just now, the final reaction that we're going to watch today. It's been a while since we did It's Complicated. So also one of the reasons why I clicked it is because I saw that he's in Vegas and I saw a woman in a Chiefs jersey. So I could not make a reaction on this. So can you see me? Yes, you can. Playing games, rules of modern dating and understanding women, it's complicated. Yet another video that we're going to watch by the It's Complicated channel, added just a day ago from Las Vegas, from the city where the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. And I could talk more about it, but without further ado, let's go into this reaction.
If you had to wear your body count on a jersey, would you be a quarterback, kicker, or defensive player?
Oh, I'd be a defensive player.
Why?
It's complicated.
Kicker's numbers are low and the quarterback's numbers are low, and I'd probably be more fitting with the defensive players.
I'll be a kicker because I kick her out.
Quarterback, I guess.
Why?
Because quarterbacks get in and they get out real quick. I don't know.
I'd be Nick Bosa.
I'd be Nick Bosa.
When it comes to dating, are men forced to play the game or be on the bench?
Forced to play the game.
100% forced to play the game.
How does a guy get from the friend zone to the end zone?
Right here.
Why is it when a guy gets laid, we say that he scored?
Because he went all the way.
Why? Because it's all a win.
Because he played the game.
Which of the following statements do you think is more true? A man's ideal woman is a bro in the body of a hot chick, or a woman's ideal man is a woman in the body of a handsome man?
Oh, the first one, a bro in the body. Yeah, like seriously. Like my guy and I, like I'm a fucking football chick. I'm a total sports nut, so I'm more like a bro for sure.
It's my boy right here. He's a woman in the body of a handsome man.
Isn't one a tomboy while the other's a gay man?
Absolutely.
Isn't one a tomboy while the other's a gay man?
Yes.
If women want men to connect with them on a deeper level than just sex, why don't more women take interest in male hobbies like sports and video games rather than fashion and pop culture?
Because they got that, oh.
Because women are still old school, and so we are the prize, and so they feel like men have to still chase after them.
I think the best women take more interest in sports and video games, and it's the best sex.
We 100% do taking it.
The best are actually those who take care of both. Hey, hi, FNAF Maker 1232. What's up? I might even put your comment on. Sorry, didn't spot it earlier. Yeah, go follow me on Twitch and on YouTube. Woo! Oh, that was actually recently, so I did spot it.
Interest in anything that is sports related, whether it be
100%.
men or women.
And then why can't men do the same thing? Why can't they sew and knit and come sit with us and watch the TV? My mother.
Because it's boring what you watch. And I know a lot of women, really, I know a lot of women who just love to rewatch a show for like 167 times. I genuinely do not understand. Like, ask every single woman who has watched Friends once, will probably rewatch it for another 55 times. Which is weird. I never got it. Like, is there going to be a new story? Maybe some kind of backflip. Okay, sometimes I do get rewatching it the second time because you want to spot some different details. Maybe a third time when you're introducing someone to it. But other than that, it already starts to get weird.
Was in a football pool growing up. So every night she'd call in her picks. So I kind of picked that up.
Why are the men who sit around all day playing video games or watching porn?
To be fair, my family, even the men and the women, we play we have like a family tournament about predicting football games. So it's always an advantage to know something from sport. I'm telling you, even from like women's sports. Like, also what I thought about now, one of the reasons why a lot of women should probably take interest into sports is because how popular it is among the world. So to say, if there are a lot of stuff that women get into that is just not super popular amongst men, but there's way more women that do sports, if you see what I mean.
Seen as less productive than the men who sit around all day watching sports?
Oh, that is a great question. I would say they're more productive. They just have more dexterity in.
Wir kennen die typischen Fehler, die Agenturen machen. Mein Bruder hat genau dazu
their hands.
Football makes you look more like a man and brute and strong, whereas porn makes you look like a pervert.
Ugh, God, it's just so lame. Like, stop playing the video games. Let's go to a football game.
Why do people watch men's sports more than women's, including the women themselves?
Because male athletes are superior.
It's common.
Why would you watch male athletes? Okay, now I got it. The reason why, and the only reason why people would rather watch a lot of male sports compared to female is basically because of the speed. I remember I once tried to give women's football a chance. I turned on to watch a Champions League game. It was a football Champions League game. There was a Ukrainian team playing against the women's Real Madrid team. And I turned on in like the middle of the second half. And the Ukrainian girl was actually like doing good. So she dribbled past her. She threw the ball like forward. And I was like, yes, let's go. Like, you already won the distance. You can now like outspeed her. I swear, I will never forget how slowly she ran. And I'm not trying to be discriminative to anyone. Seriously. But I really couldn't understand. Like, am I watching on 0.75? It was so slow that I think I turned off in 3 to 4 minutes. Basketball, I could still watch. That's a fun thing. I think because it's less territory that they have to cover, so you don't really outspot that huge of a difference. But even when you play against women, you can really feel it.
Acknowledge that the NBA earns far more money than the WNBA. Do you think they should receive equal pay?
Hell no.
Why?
Because they don't bring in the same revenue.
They're not bringing in as many viewers, as much money.
I mean, there has been a study even at the Women's Football World Cup where the women players actually get paid more from the World Cup in percentage compared to the men, if we talk about percentage taken from the revenue.
As much endorsement deals.
To be fair, my stepdad did tell me WNBA is more popular in other countries than the U.S.
A lot of the sports players, they get paid an exorbitant amount, so I think that that money should be shared more equally and spread out to people who need it.
Part of it.
Again, coming back to the people who need it, I'm not talking specifically about that woman, but people that, but there's, okay, no, wait, let's start it over again. A Super Bowl ticket, I think the cheapest one is like $7,000, or it's definitely a couple $1,000, and the stadium is full every single year. And this year's Super Bowl overpassed in TV broadcast inside the United States. It outpassed the 1969 moon landing. So, if everyone is willing to pay for that, the players should probably receive, the players, I mean the management, etc. That's the reason they receive so much money, because the people are willing to pay for it. They are willing to pay tons of it. Why? Well, because people like being entertained. Really, that is the whole reason. That is why when life is good, when you finish your job and you have really no huge worries, you want to get yourself entertained. And sports is probably the most popular entertainment in the world. So that is why a lot of these athletes earn millions and millions a year, because they bring billions.
It's because there's more teams in the NBA. That's also because there's a lot more on the media rights side of things. NBA owns both, so they absolutely could. That said, it's probably not going to make shareholders happy. So until the shareholders are happy and actually could do it, or go to more of like a tennis model, then it's probably not going to happen.
If they were at the same level, I think the WNBA needs to become more hype and get out there and get more endorsements. So I'm hoping that they have equal opportunity to do that, so they can be just as popular as the NBA.
Yeah, all WNBA really needs is just getting more popular. So they don't need to get paid more. They just need to bring in more viewers. And I remembered recently there was this idea pushed to make WNBA more entertained, make them lower the baskets, not putting 305. There was this suggestion to make them at least 280, so that women could dunk as well, so there would be more free-pointers. Like, the only reason people even invented the free-point line is to make the game more interesting, is so that people would watch longer. Like, so it would cut, for example, it's a free-point game now, it's a one-possession game, so the attention is still there, which means he's going to pay for the money, which means you can put an advertisement of a toothpaste in it, because 10 people are going to watch it, 5 of them are going to go to the shopping mall, 2 of them are going to pick the toothpaste and are going to pay for it. That's the only reason. This is how the market functions. It's always going to be about the money. The only thing I don't understand is how did we get from the rules of modern dating to sports business and money, but I really like this subject, so I don't mind.
Why should we have equal pay? Why don't we judge that purely off of competition?
Well, I mean, you have a point. It's just, I think that people should be getting paid for their performance and how good they are at what they do.
Exactly. That is what they're getting paid for. Their performance brings less people than the performance of, let's say, LeBron James or Stephen Curry.
But I don't think that it should be based on gender.
What are your thoughts on the X League having women play football in lingerie? Are these women being objectified?
I would think that they were being objectified, but at the same time, that's what a lot of males want to see these days.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, I myself am a bikini and lingerie model. I'm a Maxim cover girl, so I think that it's kind of cool. It's empowering if they feel that that's what they want to do.
I genuinely don't see what is empowering about it, but I'm not creating sometimes for these speeches.
I mean, if the woman consent, I can't say nothing about that. It's not like as long as they're not forced to do it, I don't care.
Why will women admit that men are physically stronger when they want protection, while also thinking that biological men should compete in women's sports?
I do not.
Because they want to push their agenda in the way that suits them the best. Half of his questions could be answered in this way, but I get why he's doing this. This is his content. So let's listen to this man.
Not understand that at all.
I struggle with that because even though that person is identifying as women, their makeup is still as a man, like their bone structure. You cannot change your bone structure.
Yeah.
So I feel like there should be even another category outside of male and female. It should be like a whole nother gender category for those type of sports.
If feminism is such a strong political movement, why don't they complain about transgenders dominating women's sports?
Yeah, this is a thing I will never. I genuinely don't understand. This should be their soup. This should be their general soup. They have these problems, the ingredients, and when they mash it all around, it's a soup that they should be boiling around and pushing you to eat it, like feed it to you, show it that it's a problem. It's a problem that we have to solve somehow. But they are just quiet. And it's usually the other people who talk about this problem. And I don't understand it. And luckily, I genuinely am lucky that I haven't had the need to think about this yet, because I have a lot of other problems that I would rather be fixing.
It's a great question. I don't think that should be allowed at all. I don't think a man should be allowed to compete in a women's sport. But I say if a woman wants to, let them try.
I mean, again, if you think about it, you don't even need to take like big sports. Chess is a sport that has mixed tournaments. Formula One is a mixed tournament sport, and yet men still outcompete women. Even in those spheres where you don't simply rely on pure biology. Well, though on chess you do, because it's the thinking. But even there, men outcompete women. I'm not saying that everyone. I'm not saying that all the men are better than all the women in chess. No. But I'm saying if you take the best man player and the best women's player, the best man player will probably win. Let's give him. I mean, I don't know the stats, but at least I would guarantee he will win at least 8 games, or even 9.
Warum wird ein kleiner Immobilieninvestor wie ich auf mehreren Zeitschriften als Titelstory die
Why is it that it's only men competing in women's sports, but never women competing in the men's sports?
Oh, that is because they wouldn't get dominated on.
Would you let your daughter compete against a transgender woman in MMA or boxing?
No, not a chance, because she'd get pummeled.
If she a bodybuilder, I mean, you see, there's actual woman bodybuilders, so yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't suggest it, but if that's what she wants to do, I would allow it.
There's all this.
I don't want to get bad, but this is like the difference between a white mom and the white dad. Like the white dad is hell nah. You don't dare come to my girl. You step 1 foot closer and I'm going on that ring. When the black mother's like, well, I mean, if she wants to get smashed by a dude, let it be.
Let's talk about creating a more fair and equitable society. What determines in life what should be a competition and what should have equal outcomes?
What determines in life what should be a competition, what should have equal outcomes?
A competition should be the end goal. The equality should be the chances to reach that goal. So every man or woman should have a chance to play basketball, and their competition, their competition should be them getting to the goal of bringing in more viewers, because all that basketball players do, all that any athletes actually do, is bring in viewers. They're entertainers, so they need people to watch them. Therefore, the competition should be in who is going to bring more. Whereas equality should be probably in the chances. So everyone, if a woman wants to start playing basketball, she should have the same opportunities to do it as a man to start. So again, equality is in the beginner level, but everything that goes from there, you're on your own, people.
I suppose whatever is a competition and what isn't, right? If I'm competing for a job, it's a competition. If I'm competing against my peers for a promotion, it's a competition. So,
should there be equal outcomes in sports?
No, there would never be equal outcomes in sports.
Again, like, let's take his example with the job. So the competition, so to say, two spots, right? Two spots. Probably if you're picking between them two, who is going to get it first, the beginner stage should probably be equally fair for most of them. Like, yeah, so going from second partner to first partner. So let's say in order to go to first partner, they should all at least go through being second partner. Now how do they perform as a second partner? If they say, for example, there's a man and a woman, and a man stays an extra hour for work because, I don't know, he doesn't have to take care of a family, well, you shouldn't create equalities inside here. That's the competition. Although this example does require a bigger investigation, I should probably write a term paper on it for my university. Yeah, that would sound cool. What is competition compared to where should be competition, where should be equality? I should write it down.
Sports, because you're competing for an outcome.
So then why do we pick and choose?
Why do we pick and choose what?
When we have competition and when we have equality.
That's a good question. I don't know. Good question.
What's the difference between a football coach and a dating coach?
Oh, we.
I never understood the thing about dating coaches, actually. But probably the difference is in what they coach. A football coach trains to play football. Dating coach trains to date.
That dating coach ain't gonna win nothing.
Football coaches are like, get out there and play, baby. And dating coaches are like, get out there and play, baby.
Why does a guy have to be coached on how to pick up women, but he doesn't have to be coached on how to make friends?
Because women are much more selective than men are.
Why do we keep coaching men to play a game we all know is rigged?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because some men do trust that it's not, and they think that if they pay a decent amount of money, they're going to discover these big secrets of how to win the game, where at the end of the day, there's no 100% guaranteed chance. There's not even actually a 70% guaranteed chance.
I don't think it's rigged.
It's not rigged.
What does it mean to have game?
Spit is.
What's the difference between a dating game, having game, and playing games? And why do we use the same word for all three things?
It's too hard, man.
Because it's all a game.
If you got game, it comes to you natural. Don't do nothing. They're there. If you're playing the game,
you're faking it.
You're trying to run it on them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
as far as see what you can get out of them.
Yeah.
And as far as what was the next one?
What are your thoughts on the following expression? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Oh, I think you should hate the player too.
They're equally responsible.
Why do guys say they want good girls but are attracted to sluts, while girls say they want good guys but are attracted to players?
That's
because they're lying inside their heads. Because they can't even be honest with themselves. And that's why they fail in life, and they fail in love, and they eventually break up, and then they post these sad stories that, oh, I'm so single. And then they go on St. Valentine's and write a post, You should love yourself first of all. That's what St. Valentine's Day should be about. Yeah, empowerment. Think with your head.
It's a great question. I'm not attracted to sluts, so I don't know.
Honestly, I think it's just the way they look. If they're handsome or pretty to them, that's what they're distracted by.
And then media shows that as being popular and stuff, but I think the person really doesn't know who their true self is.
A lot of people want what they can't have or what they don't need.
And so that's why they want the opposite of what they say they want, because they don't really know who they are.
Do you think women want men to understand them better?
Yes.
Yes, everyone.
What's the difference between understanding women versus analyzing women's behavior?
Nothing.
Connect with them on a more emotional level.
Isn't one more empathetic and the other strategic?
It's all a strategy.
Is it wrong to be strategic when it's called a dating game?
Play chess, not checkers.
If I analyze their behavior, it's because I'm trying to get to know them better.
Yeah, but I mean, you should walk around in life strategic. It's like, if you just walk around in life and expect that everything is bubbles and it's going to somehow be, well, then you're gonna get the income. Like, if you're not willing to make the choice, someone else is going to make it for you, and it might end up well. Who knows? But it's not going to be your choice, and you're not going to affect it. You won't be able to affect it.
Still empathy.
Is it wrong to be strategic when it's called the dating game?
Just because you call it a game doesn't mean you should just focus on strategy.
That is also a nice quote at the end. So, on this beautiful note, today we're going to close out the stream. And moral of the reaction: be honest to yourself and to the person you love. Guys, this was Zeno77 giving you free YouTube reactions today. I need to go to bed because I have an early morning tomorrow that I should be prepared for. And if you're watching this at night, I'm also suggesting you do the same. But before you do that, you have to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I hope that by the time you're watching this reaction, we're already at number 50. But let's not stop there, let's scale it. Let's, so to say, try to hit 3 figures probably. In any case, yet again, Zeno77, and I thank you for watching this reaction, no matter if you did it live, on the stream replay, or on the reaction video itself. I will definitely see you next week, and I think in our plans, it might be yet another Brad Cooper reaction. So be prepared, and I'll see you soon.